Welcome to Carb Counting Part 4. We're going to talk about portion sizes. We're going to break it down to a little bit more detail on this section. My name is Nikki, by the way. I'm a dietitian and a diabetes educator with Quad Med. So you've already learned why carbs are important because they cause the rise in your blood sugar. You also learned why we need carbs because they're our energy source. And then the last 3 segments covered which foods do have carbs and which don't. So we're going to talk more about portion sizes now and what the numbers look like. When I talk about all of this, I want you to think of money. It's kind of like a budget. And with carb counting, you have to keep your carb intake consistent from meal to meal and snack to snack. So women, this is very general terms or suggestions, but women, let's stay around 45 grams of carbs per meal, 15 grams of carbs per snack. And men, if you could stay around 60 grams of carbs per meal and 20 to 30 grams of carbs per snack, it'll at least keep you in the ballpark until you maybe can meet with the dietitian and they can individualize that for you. So let's go back to this segment. Actually is going to cover starches and starchy vegetables. So the number you need to remember is 15. 15 grams of carbs is equivalent to 1 carb serving. So remember when I said 45 grams of carbs at a meal for women, when you look at these numbers, hopefully this will start to make more sense. 1 slice of bread out of a loaf of bread is 15 grams of carbs. All of our other bread sources, I want you to think of the absolute smallest serving size you can think of is 15 grams of carbs. If you like Belgian waffles, that's not 15 grams of carbs. This serving size here is 15 grams of carbs. This is like half of a frozen bagel you would get at the grocery store. This is 15 grams of carbs. If you like larger bagels from like a restaurant style bagel, a quarter of that bagel would be 15 grams of carbs. This piece of cornbread is actually almost 30 grams of carbs, so be careful with your portion sizes on cornbread. I don't know about you, but I'm from the South. My biscuits are not this small usually. This is 15 grams of carbs. So about 5 to 6 crackers will be 15 grams of carbs. So that covers most of your breads. And your breakfast cereal, there's a separate segment on reading nutrition labels. I would highly recommend watching that on reading your nutrition label and measuring out your cereal. We also have our starchy vegetables. So if you remember, I told you that it's corn, potatoes, peas, and beans. So for all of those starchy vegetables, it's real easy to remember. A half a cup is 15 grams of carbs, and all of these starchy vegetables represented here are a half a cup. So that would be 15 grams of carbs. One that's a little different, corn on the cob, actually half of a piece of corn on the cob is 15 grams of carbs, so the whole ear would be 30. If you ever forget what equals 15 grams of carbs, remember half a cup is the most standard. There's only 3 foods you'll have to remember for the most part that are a third of a cup is actually 15 grams of carbs. Let's pretend these are baked beans. So baked beans, cooked pasta, and cooked rice are only a third of a cup for 15 grams of carbs. So really monitor your portion sizes on these foods because they can add up very quick. So call your dietitian, meet with them to learn more details, but I hope this gave you enough information to get started. Thanks.